Greetings, Facebook family. Greetings, Facebook family. Greetings, Instagram family. Greetings, Snapchat family. This is Queen Dr. Neat Hatshepsut Mayat in all of my glory. And I am absolutely over the moon. I've come here today to give you a further explanation about our sacred silent retreat online, our sacred silence retreat online. And so many of you all have never ever heard of a sacred silence retreat, much less known anything about an online retreat. So I wanted to just come on and help you to understand. So one of the responsibilities that I have as queen is to make sure whenever there are challenges and problems within the community, part of my job is to find out what is the best way that I can serve the community to help to resolve the challenges. And so when I look at a lot of the sisters' posts, I see a lot of hurt. When in the Miss Tanya, I see a lot of hurt. I see a lot of pain. And so in me seeing the hurt and the pain, it's like, what can we do? A lot of it is based on past things that have not been released from us. And so what Spirit gave me was to do virtual Vipassanas. Now, the word Vipassana is a Sanskrit word, and it is basically going within in silence. Here in Atlanta, we have about 5 places up in the mountains where you can go and you're able to stay for 3, 5, 10, or 20 days in nothing but silence. So you get up, you go eat, you take your shower, you come back, and you are in silence. Usually when people have been through a major traumatic situation, the loss of a child, they've had a breast removed because of cancer, they've had a life-threatening diagnosis. My goodness, they're Black people, okay, who have just been through the trauma of being Black in America, okay? And it's like, you know what, I'm really, really not okay. I've recommended Vipassanas for many parents who have had to sit down and explain to their teenage sons the rules, okay, about if you get stopped by the police. That can be very, very traumatizing to you. Many of us have been through rapes. We have been through molestations. We've had abortions. We have had trauma. And we have had things that we just kept it moving through. That's exactly how we handled it. It happened, boom, let's keep it moving. And so we've never addressed it. So when we don't address it, it becomes bitterness, it becomes anger, it becomes resentment, it becomes tumors, it becomes cysts, it becomes disease, and it becomes cancer. So what Spirit gave me to do was these silent retreats online every month. And each month it has a different topic that we address together. So if you know that your house can never, ever be silent, it's fine. What a lot of sisters do when we do the silent retreats, they will actually all put their money together and they'll go get a hotel room. And everybody take a corner. They've got their laptop, they've got their phones, their tablets, whatever, and then they've got their headphones. And so they're actually able to listen. But the room is quiet. If you are blessed to be single, nobody else is in your house, bam, you can invite some of the other sisters over. And then they are able to do it individually. Now y'all can't one person pay and then everybody get together. No, that's not what it is. All of you all can share, because It's so very, very deep. If you sit up and try to sneak in on something like this, you can end up having an adverse effect. So what we're going to do is help you to discern the difference between release and forgiveness. That's the first thing that we're going to do. And see, a lot of us grew up in church, and this is no diss to church because I was a minister. So yeah, I did all of that. And so we learned the concept of forgiveness based upon, if I don't forgive what other people do, then Jesus will not forgive me and I can't go on to heaven. Well, where the challenge comes in with that is when we no longer have an additional deity in our belief system and we just believe in one God, just like all of our ancestors did, because anybody who understands African traditional religions, they are all monotheistic. We did not worship the Orisha. We did not worship the Netzeru. We worship one God. And so when you're brought into a situation where a religion is placed on you that is not what is indigenous to you, and you're now taught to worship Jesus and to worship God, so to worship two gods, then it causes confusion in your African mind. So you accept the statement that if I take on this extra God, and if I don't forgive these things that other people have done to me, then this extra God is not going to forgive my sins. So once you come into a different mindset and you say, hey, I'm just going to do one God, I'm not doing a bunch of people, then that whole concept's out the way. So then you have free will to decide if you're actually going to forgive somebody. And please press the share button, because this is not just for sisters. This is for sisters. This is for brothers. This is for the children. This is for everybody. Especially if you are the parent of a child that has been molested. See, you can take your child to counseling, but that counselor may not be able to walk your child through that healing process, because it depends on what that counselor's belief system is. And so I went to a lot of different counselors growing up because I went through a traumatic experience when I was 7 years old. But those counselors counseled me from a Christian point of view. And so their whole thing was forgive, 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 forgive. And so if you're trying to force somebody to forgive something that they don't understand under the guise of God said you got to do this, then they're doing it because you told them God said they had to do it, and it's not coming from a pure and sincere place within them of forgiveness. So before you can forgive anything, you have to first release it. Let's discuss the difference between forgiveness and release. If you molest one of my baby girls, I don't know that I have the capacity to forgive you for that. Because see, you didn't accidentally molest my babies. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. That wasn't an accident. You did that on purpose. So I don't know that the woman that I am built up as, I am a daughter of Shango. I'm also a daughter of Sekhmet. So if you know anything about those two energies, those are two fire energies that come and shut things down. That's why when you hear some of my former students talk about Queen Neat, she's a monster. No, I hold you accountable and I don't allow you to stay a victim. That's the difference between my course and a lot of the courses that other teachers do. I don't stroke you. I don't pet you. I do listen to what you've been through, and I help you to stand up and to become the victor over it. I will not allow you to wallow in whatever has happened to you. I simply will not. That's the difference between me and other teachers. And so even when we do this silent retreat online, it is not about wallowing in what somebody has done to you. We first acknowledge it, and then we release it. Well, Queen, what does release mean? Release means I choose to no longer, I acknowledge what you did, and I choose to no longer hold you hostage in the prison of my emotions. Because many of us are looking for apologies from people who are not sorry and have no intentions whatsoever to receive forgiveness from us. But yet it is affecting us. When you hold anger, bitterness, resentment, pain within you, it damages the organs and the systems of your body. So you are the injured party, and every time the thought of what that person did to you comes to your mind, or you see their name somewhere, or you hear somebody say it, more toxins are pouring over your systems, pouring over your organs, eating your body alive, and you're the one that's getting sick after they did something to you. So while we do this retreat together, we're getting rid of all of it. We're dealing with all of it. It is 14 hours, 10 to 5 on Saturday, 10 to 5 on Sunday, because we're not going to drag all these bags over into the new Gregorian year. I am a Kemetic practitioner. I know that this has nothing to do with the African New Year. But since we're living over here in this place, we're going into a new Gregorian year. This is also going into a number 3 year. It's a 12, which is equivalent to a 3. So in that type of dynamic, you have to understand 3 is a year of exposure. And so if you're going to be exposed, you don't want to be exposed with anger, bitterness, resentment, all of that as a part of you. Expose me and see that I'm not carrying these people inside of me. Many people fell out with you back in 2010, and they're still walking around angry with you and bad mouthing you from 2010, so 9 years ago, as though nobody grows and improves over 9 years. And so with that, every time you turn around, the gossip columnists are dropping things in your ears, and then anger, all of that is coming up in you. We're going to help you to work through every bit of that, getting rid of all of that. Please press the share button so that you can get the healing that you need and you can move on with your life. Do you know how many of your own blessings you are blocking because you're still holding on? We got many of us that are still mad at our exes. For what? They've moved on. Why don't you? And move on without the emotional attachment. You have people that have cheated on us. Okay, fine. Go on. But I'm not going to keep holding on to you. Many of us have had babies by people, and we're still angry. They're in another relationship going on. Well, why ain't you in that with me? Because they're not. Let's get this stuff up and out. All of the things where we were not protected, where our back was not covered, even when we were children, it needs to be addressed. acknowledged, dealt with, and released. And if we can take people into forgiveness, because see, forgiveness is a gift, and you don't give your giftings to everybody, but you have to, for your own health, mental health, as well as physical health and safety, you have to give the gift of release so it doesn't keep damaging and harming you. You deserve the best of everything. And not being in good health because you still have anger built in you. Do you realize that cancer is an anger disease? Cancer is an anger disease. And so we get shocked when really, really sweet, quiet people get cancer. It's like, oh my God. A lot of times when people are very, very sweet and quiet, they are quiet storms that are waiting to erupt because they keep taking stuff and keep taking stuff and keep taking stuff, and it gets bottled and bottled and bottled in. Now, me, I really doubt that if I get up out of here and y'all hear us behind cancer, you really need to check, because I'm going to tell you how I feel. Because I've had to learn to do that so that I don't get ulcers. I watched my mother have ulcers from the time I was a little girl. I remember having to run and get her milk because when she would get upset, those ulcers would begin to burn. And so early, I learned what to do not to get an ulcer. I learned you tell people when they've hurt your feelings. You tell people when you don't like what they've done to you. You make it real plain. You don't use a whole lot of words. This is what it is. So anybody, I have a lot of my high school friends on here, junior high school friends. I am as straight a shot as you can get. And you know what? I don't have ulcers because of it. And so I'm not saying everybody need to be a straight shot like me, because I'm learning to become kind and sweet. I can care less about nice because that's programming. But I'm learning the art of sweetness and adding sugar to a few of my words, but not many. But that way I don't have ulcers. And so I don't suffer like I watched her suffer. So I want to help many of you all to be able to not have all of that inside of you. Do you realize when you don't have all that built up in you, then people don't have power over you anymore? Anybody that can make you angry controls you. They own you. That's your slave master. When you constantly think about, and I should have said this to him, and I should have said that to her, that person is your slave master. You are a slave to them. We putting all these posts up on Facebook about the white man, the white man, the white man. No, many of your slave masters look just like you. So we want to take our power back. And then we're also going to call our energy back from the north, the east, the south, and the west, from the energy that we have invested in people, places, things, ideas, and microorganisms that did not return it reciprocally to us. So it's going to be a very, very deep piece. My web designer is putting it up on the web. You see it on my Facebook page right now. And if you're interested, you can inbox me. I'll be glad to answer any of your questions, but you do it from the privacy of your home. We're going to have a private Facebook page where we're going to live stream it, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. But we simply do not want to take all of this pain into 2019. Many of us have lost parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, lost children, and we've never ever dealt with the reality of that pain. If we lost parents, some of us have not forgiven our parents for transitioning, even though that may sound simple. See, it sounds simple to somebody who hasn't been in it. But see, when you walk a mile in somebody's moccasins, then it's a little bit different. If you ain't lost a mama, if you ain't lost a daddy, you need to keep your mouth off anybody who has and who is going through the processing of their emotions. I don't pay attention to most of what the world is doing, but I'm really tripping about the way that they are dealing with Puffy's children's mama. Her oldest son went back to work and he posted on Instagram a picture of himself smiling, and they trashed that boy. They put so many negative comments up there that he had to take the picture of him smiling down. Everybody grieves differently. Everybody grieves differently. And they trashed him and put some of the most horrible comments on the earth. That boy's mama ain't been in the ground a week. And they trashed him because he wasn't just sitting there boo-hooing and all of that. When you've done right by your parents, a lot of times you're not crying when they transition. Depending on where you are in your ancestral understanding, a lot of times you understand that they can do more for you in the ancestral realm than they can in this natural realm. We are all individuals, but a lot of us commit are assassins with our mouths, because we put our mouths on people when we don't really have anything to do with it and we don't know what we're talking about. So we're going to deal with forgiveness. We're going to deal with release. We're going to help you, because every time somebody has betrayed you, every time somebody has dogged you and talked about you, that also puts that energy into you. And so we've got to work with getting all of that out of you so you can forgive and release these people and send them on their way so they can't keep riding your coattail. People that discuss you are people that really want to be you. They want to be you. They simply don't have the skill set. That's all it is. So that's why it's easier for you to be able to release them. You're doing things they wish they could do, but they're inadequate. It's just a part of what it is. So definitely you can text me 770-861-9906. You probably by tomorrow afternoon, you'll see it up on my website. If you have any questions at all, you are more than welcome to ask me. I'm excited about this. It's going to be once a month, every month. This month, the objective is release and forgiveness. And every month, we're going to deal with real live issues. It'll always be from 10 to 5, Saturday and Sunday, so that you can get the healing you need. I don't believe in rushing anything, magic, and now it's done. No, we need to be able to deal with what's hurting us, because we're going to keep having dysfunctional relationships. Thank you, beloved. Thank you, Stephanie. We're going to keep having dysfunctional relationships until we deal with what's broken in us. We don't have the right to fall in love with somebody else and to let somebody else fall in love with us until we deal with our own stuff individually. I am so sick of our wonderful brothers getting torn out the frame by sisters who are not healed. Another brother is not responsible for coming in and healing you from the last man. And sisters, stop working with my brother's potentials. Allow him to maximize his potential and then approach you. Do you know? I mean, if he's a melanated man, he is nothing but the epitome of potential, because he is a divine reflection of God. So anything he puts his mind to, he can manifest just because of his melanin. And the more melanin he has, the more power he generates. So of course he has potential. You can't be his reason for him finally coming into the maturity of his potential. He has to do that on his own. We need to stop mothering grown men, because when you mother him, then it changes the dynamic of the relationship. You are actually emasculating him. I put up a post the other day and I said, how many brothers have you castrated with your words? How many brothers have you castrated with your words? Press the share button. And so we have to own that. We have to own our responsibility in the men that we've castrated with our words. And once you know better, then it's your responsibility not only to do better, but to teach your children and grandchildren better. Because a lot of our parents couldn't teach us certain skill sets because they simply did not have them. They didn't have them. My mother was a drop-dead, gorgeous chocolate woman. Oh, my goodness. And so she didn't really teach me a lot of things about how to engage a man, because my mother was just beautiful. So it was just, certain things was just automatic. So I had to learn to cultivate holistic, healthy relationships with men. And actually, I get along better with men naturally than I do with women, because my father was my example. So you have to understand that a lot of the forgiveness that you got to do goes back to childhood. It goes back to the childhood relationships. Are you still holding on to anger because your mama left your daddy? Is that the reason, brother, that you won't stay with a woman, or that you feel like you got to have multiple women? So if this one don't want me, then I can go to the other two. We got to get to the psychology of why we do certain things that we do. And so this is going to be super deep. That's why I've got you in your own home, in your own comfortable environment, because this is going to be a lot of crying, a lot of purging, a lot of releasing. This is going to be, I'm not taking all of this foolishness into 2019. And watch, from the people that sign up, we've got sisters that already signed up before I put it up. You're going to start seeing a difference in the post that they put up on Facebook. You're going to start seeing a difference in it. Because when I'm not still holding all of that in my heart, then you can actually see the beauty within me. You can actually see the beauty of me, as opposed to constantly seeing my pain. So my website is www.healatlanta.com, www.healatlanta.com. It will be up on the website by tomorrow. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can text me at 770-861-9906, 770-861-9906. But I am so excited about the opportunity to serve you. We are going to get well together. I am one of the most transparent healers that you will actually run into. So when I'm teaching on Facebook, most of the time it's not me, it's spirit, but it's hitting me and it helps to make me better. So I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, release and forgiveness word. I'm with it. Spirit, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? I am over the moon. Anytime a teacher projects to you that they've got it all together and what they're teaching you, they've mastered, they are lying to you. They're lying to you. When you become a teacher, you're simply a vessel that you've made yourself available to be used by the spirit world. That's it. But when you try to come off like you got it all together, it's a lie. It's a lie. So I don't let anybody put me up on a pedestal as though I walk on water. No, I will drown every time, sugar. No. I'm still growing, developing, and becoming even more excellent. I have 9 elders that I report to that keep me in check. That's the reason I can be a better teacher for my students, because I am a woman of authority that's under authority. So I keep my students in check and they continue to rise because they don't want to hold on to all of the things that deal with unforgiveness. They want to let it go so they can heal. So I'm so excited. Many of you are going to get the healing that you're been looking for from a divorce from 20 years ago, that you've continued to keep hidden in your heart. Oh, okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. We're not okay. We're not okay. And it's time that we get the help we need. So again, the website is healatlanta.com. You can go on there and look for the readings, for the consultations. We have about 39 different types of healing readings on there. Amatep, beloved. So go on there and see what all you can get. We have about 200 different services on there. So we do them in person. We do them online. We're here to help you. Dr. Hernandez and our Sun Chef University is going to be opening on next week. So we're going to teach you how to cook or how to uncook and how to enjoy the wonderful raw foods. We will be teaching some cooked foods. We've got a live class on December 21st, which is the winter solstice. And so I'm going to put that flyer up in just a little bit so you'll be able to see all of that on there. But we are so dedicated to helping the community heal. We want the community to be healed, because that way we can start patronizing each other's business and not be like, oh, no, I don't want to never go over there with her again. She nasty. Why is she nasty? Because she's been hurt so many times by people coming up asking her for a discount because they're black. Okay, you want a black people discount? Really? Well, when I get black people discount rent on where I am and black people discount lights and phone and all of that, then we can give you a black people discount. But until then, don't ask me for a black people discount. That is completely ridiculous, and that's an insult. And so if you don't go to a white business and you don't ask for a black people discount because you at a white business, do not ask for a black people discount when you're dealing with a black business, because it is an insult. Okay, so I want my business owners to come as well, because many of my business owners have been damaged by the community and by working with the community. Now, let me set this record real straight, because some of us get it real twisted. If you see that a black business owner takes some pictures and they're working with white clients, then we turn around and we call them a sellout. So let me speak on behalf of every healer out there. Ain't nobody sold out. Let me tell you what we sold out to. We sold out to overhead. Can you spell it with me? OVERHEAD. So if a white person will come into my business and patronize my business and pay me what I'm going to do, what am I going to say? Oh, no, Mr. White person, you can't come in my business and spend any money because the conscious community will judge me. I only take black dollars. You try that if you want to. You will be short like a midget. So you cannot allow the conscious community to dictate to your business what's going to happen. Are you kidding me? Because they're not going to pay your bills. And so I'm not caught up in that crazy mindset, and I want to help some of you all get free from it as well. So stop coming and asking for a black people discount. And if you see a picture online with a business owner with somebody that don't look like them, how you going to turn around? And I sit and watch it. I'm like, did they just call her a sellout? Really? That is crazy. So we need healing. We're also going to deal with generational unforgiveness. Generational unforgiveness. And we're going to deal with 4 sets of your family. We're going to deal with your mama's family and your mama's daddy's family. And your daddy's mama's family and your daddy's daddy's family. We got too many people in our families who don't speak. So this set of cousins can't talk to this set of cousins because there's a conflict between these brothers and sisters from 25 years ago. And so the grandkids can't go play together. And all of that foolishness, that is generational dysfunction and generational unforgiveness. We also have, like we have in many families, you got that uncle that was a molester. And so the uncle that was the molester touched a whole bunch of different kids in the family. So the family is walking around with these big family secrets. But then none of those girls got married because everybody's been touched and nobody's been able to talk about it. So we're going to be able to deal with all of that generational dysfunction that we don't talk about, which ends up being generational unforgiveness, generational refusal to release. So then when you get around other people, you don't even know how to trust them, how to deal with them, because you still damaged from your family. So I had one student that said to me, I said, I love you. I say I love you to my students. I do. We together for 2 years. If I'm working with you on your healing for 2 years and I see you growing, yeah, I might tell you that I love you. And I'm so straight because I'm real cute and I really like men. Let's just be clear. And she said, how is it possible that you love me? I'm like, what are you talking about? And I've been working with her for a year. Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. But she was not accustomed to anybody, including her family, telling her that they love her. So you got to start looking at a lot of the dysfunction that's going on inside of you. And you got to start looking at the root of it. Much of it is generational. So they lie to us and tell us that all of these diseases are heredity. The diseases are not hereditary. The diseases are based on y'all all eating the same slave food. So if we keep all eating the same slave food from family to family to family, then we're all getting the same slave diseases because we won't let go of the foods that we know are harming us. And that's for real what it is. Now, I'm not saying there are no diseases that are not generational, but most of the, well, my mama had diabetes, my grandmama had diabetes, and now I got diabetes, Queen. It's running in my family. No, it's not. The chitlins are running in your family. The potatoes are running in your family. The macaroni and cheese are running in your family. And so grandmama taught your mama how to make it. Your mama taught you how to make it. And now you making it for your kids. Yes, y'all are getting the same diseases, but I digress. We're going back to release and forgiveness. So reach out to me. I already have 30 people that have responded to me. So if I don't immediately, when I press the close button, if I don't respond to you, it's because I'm responding to everybody in the order that it is received. So I'm giving you a discount for the 2 days, 14 hours worth of teaching. It's only $99 right now. And that is until the 15th of December. After that, it goes to $149. It is worth at least $299. When you see all that I have already prepared for you, it's worth, you'll be like, wow, Queen, okay, yeah, you really should have, because I didn't know I was going that deep inside of me, and wow. So I want to see you well. I want to see you healed, and that's what we're working on. Every month, I'll put up the new one, so you know that something else is happening, but they are building blocks on top of each other. So you want to be able to say, okay, I've already dealt with the release and forgiveness. Now I'm ready to go on to this next piece in me. And you keep pulling the pieces of you back together because so much of us has been scattered. So once again, if you have any questions or if you want to go ahead and make your reservation tonight, 770-861-9906 is the number to text, 770-861-9906. And if you want to Go to the website. It is Heal, HEAL, Atlanta.com. And the link for you to be able to purchase your tickets will be up on tomorrow. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you. Shimmy M. Hetsepu.